This episode is sponsored by Squarespace. If you look into the world of mainland Chinese horror movies, you'll quickly notice that they all suck. And it's mostly because of one reason. In China, there are mandatory guidelines for media content that all films must abide by before it can be released. This system of censorship is one major reason why mainland horror films are so bad. However, that is not the entire story. From the Soviet-era Eisenstein to Hitchcock-era Hitchcock, great films and filmmakers persisted. Censorship rarely indicates a lack of quality. Even within China, under the same system of mandatory guidelines, great films are still made on the regular. Except for horror, it just uniquely sucks across the board. Why is that? It's almost Halloween again. What better way to celebrate the horror season with some horrible movies? Buckle up and let me tell you the story of mainland horror films in the 2010s. So, how does mainland horror suck? Well, suckage number 1, nothing ever happens. Famously, the mandatory guidelines banned nearly all supernatural elements to combat superstitions, I guess. That means your ghost movies can't actually have ghosts in it. Okay, then what am I looking at?
你是说那天晚上，我们吸入了地窖里面药物所生的沼气而生的幻觉？
And that was supposed to be one of the better excuses. Almost all mainland horror films came in two flavors. Either it's all a dream, or the ghosts are actually humans all along. Take Chinese Ouija vs. Ju-on as an example. No, I did not make that up. The film revolves around a dispute between a landowner and a greedy land developer. In an attempt to scare off the developer, the owner and the friends summon Bunshin Saba, the Chinese Ouija ghost. And then Kayako from Ju-on also shows up for some reason. It's stupid and it's almost entertaining. That is, until the end, when it's revealed that Ouija is the landowner in disguise all along, and Kayako is also another human being, hired by the developer to scare and kill the landowners. It cannot get any stupider. Suckery number 2, the sleaze. Actresses are frequently put in compromising situations or skimpy outfits. Mysterious Island, for example, features one of China's most popular actresses, Yang Mi, and throughout the film, she's either in a tank top or a bikini. Doesn't seem like much, but remember, it's Asia. The thought of seeing a big-name actress in tank tops is enough for people to lust all over her bust size. Sex scenes and partial nudities are frequent, so are risque topics like cheating and teacher-student romance. It's basically exploitation cinema, sell the film with the promise that you'll get to see something titillating on the big screen. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to all suck. Bloodstained Shoes is one of the more okay films in the genre. In this story, a widow in the village is accused of infidelity. The villagers drown her as punishment, but before she dies, she curses the entire village. Now, we all know the curse isn't real, but it doesn't have to. The fake curse unleashed the ugliness inside everyone. Some villagers even murder others and use the curse to cover it up. The film becomes a terrifying critique of superstition. What a brilliant idea! It goes to show that written guidelines and codes can always be navigated around. So there must be some other reasons for the state of the genre, right? These movies are made cheaply and quickly, but that doesn't mean things can be good. Take a look at Squarespace, where you can make your own websites easily at an affordable price with good results. Thanks to the massive library of professional quality templates, making a website is as simple as just a few edits. But if you want something more personalized and unique, Squarespace also has extensive options for in-depth customization. Head to squarespace.com/accentinema and use the code accentinema to get 10% off your first purchase. With their all-in-one platform, no plugins or updates needed, making a website has never been this easy. Visit squarespace.com/accentinema and give it a try right now. This is a list of bans and directives from the National Radio and Television Administration. It includes some reasonable orders, such as a further ban on product placement involving medicine. It also has some ridiculous directives, such as a ban on actors with tattoos and hip-hop culture. And everything you see here happened in just 2018 alone. Unlike the official content guidelines, these directives are not codified into law. It's not easy to find out what directives are in place. They are updated constantly, often without warning. It is a huge sticking point in Chinese media culture. In September of 2021, the Ultraman Tiga series was removed from various streaming services in China, likely due to its violent content. Massive public outcry caused the decision to be reverted. This is the sort of media landscape that mainland horror movies have to navigate around. Being one of the most at-risk genres, horror movies have to be produced very cheaply and quickly to outpace the directives. This is why the prop for Grandma's Grave has the word Grandma's Grave written on it. Her name is literally Grandma. It's a prop mistake that can be easily fixed in post. There, I fixed it. But there isn't time or incentive for the filmmaker to fix it, because tomorrow there may be a new directive that bans showing graves on screen. You don't know what's coming. It's not worth the investment risk. This is also why sequels and knockoffs are so rampant and blatant. Bloodstained Shoes was a success. In comes Frightening Embroidery Shoes, a movie that actually has almost nothing to do with shoes. Midnight Hair is followed by Who is Crying at Midnight? Someone under your bed? How about a face next to your pillow? Once you find a working formula that can get past the censor and makes money, it is a big risk to change things up. And since there is relatively little competition in this genre, there is little incentive for originality. Here's the thing, there are people who support these directives. Under the news article about Ultraman, there are not one but two fathers openly expressed their support for the ban. They believe that children's violent behaviors were triggered by copying the show. In 2013, 3 children were play-acting a scene from a Chinese cartoon, in which a wolf is roasting 2 sheep in a comical fashion. Despite parental figures at the scene, they failed to stop the children in time. 2 children were hospitalized due to severe burns. The parents sued the animation studio. The state media openly criticized the series for violent content. It was a huge thing in China. Critics of the case believe that there is no proven cause and effect between the series and the children's violent act. Many people, myself included, believe the blame lies on the parents' failure to act and to educate. I grew up watching Tom and Jerry. You don't see me hitting my friends with a hammer. Nevertheless, the court sided with the parents, and the series has to be changed. The reality is, censorship in China is both a policy problem and a cultural problem. This is an anecdotal experience, but I'm sure a lot of Chinese viewers can agree. Chinese parents love to ban things. If you learn a swear word from a TV show, instead of teaching you not to use the word, our parents often forbid us from watching that show entirely. It's often suspected that the illogical directives were made simply as a bureaucratic reaction to complaints filed by these worrying parents. So from this angle, mainland horror is bad because of market demand. People don't want violent, bloody, scary movies. Or at least, enough people don't. During my time in school in China, art education was almost non-existent. Since there were no art exams in school, art classes were often taken by other teachers to teach Chinese literature, math, or English. Thus, many people of my generation grew up without the ability to analyze and dissect media content. I don't get it is one of the most common phrases uttered after a movie. We never learned, so everything becomes scary to some and tempting to others. In my opinion, that's why watching girls in bikinis is such a big selling point, because a lot of filmgoers don't see that often. People never get a chance to approach or learn from more mature content. The shelter audience were treated like teenagers, so they stayed like teenagers while into adulthood. But just like abstinence-only sex ed only erases teen pregnancy, banning all sensitive materials in film surely does not help strengthen our mind. But you know what works? An open and honest discussion about sensitive subject matters. Don't tell me superstition is bad. Show me how it is bad. Don't tell me violence is awful. Let me know why it is awful. Film is such a powerful tool to educate. Surely, we can do better than this.